first of all, I want to thank our fans. I thought the atmosphere tonight was tremendous. Also, want to make a point to honor all the minors. I think that may have been between the first, second quarter, or maybe at the first break. Either one, whenever we recognized those, I thought that was a moment. And congrats again to Anthony Beck for Hall of Fame and well-deserved honor. But the game, to me, two things that stick out is we had 2 turnovers, they had 0, and they resulted in 14 points. And we had 7 penalties, and they had 1, which I will say of note, we were leading the country, and check me on that. I believe we were leading the country in that category coming into the game. And so disappointing. The table was kind of set, and we just didn't, in the second half when it was winning time, we didn't win it. And so disappointing performance. I thought our guys, they fought, they competed, but they made a couple more plays than we did. Defensively, I thought especially in the second half, we hung in there and we played the run. If you told me going into it that we were going to outrush them and then we were 9 of 13 on third downs, I'd have felt pretty good about that. But we had not necessarily red zone, but we had the ball on the fringe, and we weren't able to convert that. We had the interception, we were down there. We had the missed field goal that I thought was critical. And then we got it down there, again, kind of in the fringe area, and had to kick a field goal. And so those hurt us, but I thought defensively we hung in there. Offensively, kind of hit and miss in the run game. They're good on defense. And let me say that. That's a good football team. They're worthy of their ranking. And so credit Coach Campbell and their staff. They do a really good job, and they won the game. And so, but I thought offensively we did some good things. Just we struggled getting a rhythm. We only ran 64 plays. Only had to punt twice. But, again, the 2 turnovers hurt us. I thought one of them was 100% pass interference, 100%. And the second was just a bad decision. So with that, Greg.
So the missed opportunity, especially the first one, you guys up 7-0, second possession. It sort of started with Rodney couldn't hang on to the
and I would like to – I got to get clarity on that. The ball definitely moved. I would love to understand. I didn't see the view. I would want to see the view where they had beyond a doubt that he didn't maintain possession. His knee's down. He does have to bring the ball down, but that was big. It was 7-0, and we would have had the ball, 10 or 11 yard line, I think, if my memory works right. And then we go out and we miss the field goal, which we should never miss that field goal, but we did. So what else were you going to ask, Greg?
Sort of to follow with that, just emotion sort of get sucked out of a team when that happens.
I think their momentum is real. I do think momentum is real. That hurt for sure. We hurt that we didn't convert, and then hurt missing the field goal. And then we had a really poor miscommunication on the explosive play. And that's what happened on the long touchdown.
Coach, on that first drive,
we've been missing you, man. Where you been?
Been out on assignment.
Oh yeah. What do you say?
You drain half the first quarter, run the ball 11 times on that first drive. What changed offensively?
No, we kept trying, man. They did a nice job. The good thing about it's who they are. If you kind of look at what they don't do a ton on defense from a front perspective, so they're able to fix things. And so we had some really good thoughts early in the game, and because of the iPad, because they have really easy fixes, and they were able to fix some things. And we were close. We were really close on some other ones. And we still ran the ball for 148, but we only got 64 plays. So the pass run gets a little bit lopsided because we were down. We had to throw it on that last drive that we had the ball. And I don't know how many plays that was, but it was a few. So we didn't run it good enough to win, but we didn't do poorly running the football either.
So separate from the interceptions, you mentioned going into this week that Green was making smart decisions on choosing when to run versus when to pass. What are your thoughts in this game?
Hard to say, Mike, until you see it on tape. The second interception was a bad decision. I think that was on first or second down, and he's got to live another day. Either run the ball or throw it away. Like, that ball should never be put in the air. And again, the first one, he went to the first read, and our first read got two-hand push right in the back, and the ball gets picked, and it's right in front of the official. I mean, that should be called not 9 out of 10, like 10 out of 10. Like 100% that should be called. And so, but as far as just run-pass decisions in general, it's hard to tell, like, because I'm thinking about the next play, not necessarily thinking if he did the right thing there.
Snap issues?
Yeah, we had a lot of them.
Timing?
We did. Yates has a little bit of a hand issue, but they were a factor. You know, that's fair. 3 of them resulted in negative plays, but there was probably 8 or 10 in the game. But he's dealing with a hand issue.
Did you never consider changing centers?
We did. Yeah, we did. And, whether we should have or shouldn't have, that's probably up for discussion. But Brandon had played so well. And, he's our starting center. And he's going to be our starting center this year. Landon's got a bright future, but he's clearly our best option right there. And so because we're right here, right in the middle of the season, I didn't think that was the right move, from a confidence standpoint. And so that's why we decided to stick with him.
And then on the lone play and the miscommunication, just wrong guy in the wrong play.
It was tempo. So they tempoed us and using the helmet communication, and half of them got one call, half of them got the other. So it's not. Well, I'll have a better answer for you. You ask me the same question on Monday, I'll have a better answer for you.
They had a 17-play scoring drive, a couple 10-play scoring drives. How disappointing was that they were?
Yeah, a lot of third down conversions. I mean, they're 9 of 14 and 2 of 2 on fourth downs. The one of them was the end of the game, but yeah, they definitely. I thought the 1 4th and 2 conversion where they hit the speed option was a big play, but they did. I mean, they had the ball for 33 minutes. And they ran 7 more countable snaps than us, but they had the ball for 7 more minutes. And so in those long drives, not only does it, you get fatigued on defense, but it also, your offense is cold. So that's definitely a factor in the game.
Their initial thoughts on how the defense played? I mean, the backs were kind of against the wall, but
I thought, especially in the second half, I thought we fought and competed. A couple turning points in the game. I thought the 9-interception call on when we threw the first pick, and then I thought the defensive holding call, which to me the ball was not even close. It was a give-up throw. He threw it away, and I don't know. Like, all I know is we were the least penalized team coming in the country, yards per game, I believe. I think Creedy told me that the other day on the radio show. And they had 1 penalty, and we had 7. 7. And I'm so confused about what defensive pass interference, what defensive holding, because I would encourage you to go watch the game and watch how our 87 was played. He's 6'7". He's not hard to find. And we worked the middle of the field. And for them for no defensive holding, no PI is beyond me. I don't understand it. And what I feel like is, man, we've just, I don't know. I'm going to be careful what I say because we lost the game. The officials didn't lose the game by any means. We lost the game. We had opportunities to win, but it wasn't very good.
At any point in the second half, did you consider working Nico into the mix just for a spark?
Why would we do that? Did you think we needed one? Nico's going to be a really good player here, but Gary Green's our starter, and I believe that you play through some issues, and we'll do the same with Nico because he's a great player and he played well last week. The turnovers were an issue. Like I said, one of them was a bad decision. One of them was a terrible non-call. But no, it wasn't. I don't have a quick hook with quarterbacks. I don't believe in that. I don't think that's ever the right thing to do. And we won't do it when Nico's a starter, and we're not going to do it tonight.
You had at least 2 sacks. They only gave up 3 at all earlier for the rest of the season. Plus, you had Rocco on the run a good bit. What were you guys doing that really made you more effective in pass rush than pretty much anybody else had against Iowa State all year?
Yeah, without watching it, I can't give you a great answer, but I think we've got good players up front, and we won some one-on-ones. I think T.J. Jackson is really showing the type of player he is. He won on some counters. You know, he's a tough one-on-one matchup for anybody that's going to be in our league. I thought we did some nice job pressuring. We probably showed it too early, but we did some nice job with some linebacker pressures also. You know, I thought defensively, man, we really hung in there. We gave them 2 short fields with those interceptions, but I thought we competed. We're getting better. We're getting better defensively. We need to get off the field. That's one thing. You know, we gotta find better ways to get off the field. But part of that is, you know, without looking at all of them, it felt like they had a lot of short yardage. You know, that they were, you know, kind of under 4 yards that they were converting. They hit us. We got to do a better job of understanding, like, the down and distance piece. We're giving too much ground some on the deep outs.
And attacking their cloud coverage, a lot of crossers, a lot of things that look like they had some success. Is the difficulty there, though, they do keep everything in front of them that you've got to string?
Yeah, we had very few explosive plays, and they do. I mean, they're a good defense. I think they're in the top 5 in most categories. I haven't really studied a whole bunch of stats, but we probably moved it as well as anybody. But you got to score more points. You know, we had three drives that I mentioned where we got it inside the 30-yard line that we didn't score points. We had the missed field goal. We scored 3 points out of those 3 drives. We had the missed field goal, we had the interception, and then we had the field goal we made. And so when you get the ball down there versus them, and you know it's going to be a lower possession game anytime you play those guys, and we only punted twice, you know, so we had 3 touchdowns, or we had 2 touchdowns, a field goal, 2 interceptions, and we punted twice. And so, like, you've got to take advantage of those opportunities when you have the ball down there, and we just didn't. And I thought that the turnovers and the penalties were kind of the story of the game.
Okay, thank you very much, Coach.